This is a Patreon request from Morcego42069, and he wanted me to review the Blood series. And the one of them that I can find was Blood C. This is an anime review from 2011. Yes, it's gonna have spoilers in it because it's been out since 2011. And what is the show about? I'm opening this episode a little bit different, guys, because usually I'll give you guys a little intro then cut. But no, this right here, we're gonna jump right into it. But before I do that, I do have a Patreon/Zakka for 2,000 a month, cut in front of everybody, get your review out way before I come on Facebook and YouTube. And also there's a review you want me to do, please put in the comments below and I get to it as best I can. Now, this is 2011's Blood C. Now, this anime was created, I should say, by Production IG and Clamp. And what it's about, you have a girl who's named Saya, and she is trying to kill these monsters called elder beasts. And as she's going through this journey on this 12-episode anime, some stuff about her past comes to light that reveals that the world she's living in might not be what she thought it was. And that's the gist of Blood C+. But one of the main reasons people watch this anime is considered action fantasy, but in reality this is action horror. Some of the images in this anime are very grotesque, very like, oh shoot, I didn't see that coming. Like the death scenes in this show are bad. Like, so the monsters, these elder beasts, are like demons that come out and attack people. And Saya is also a swordsman. She's a female swordsman, really good with a sword, but she has to click into like another side of her to get there. But if she doesn't click over, she's pretty much a normal human being with a sword. And sometimes her just regular skills are not cutting down these monsters that are killing people. And you're watching death where somebody get their head chopped off, somebody get their head spinned off. You have somebody who like stabs a bunch of people with their fingers, and then like, and these are monsters by the way, he eats them off like what is it, those sticks, like hibachi sticks, I can't think the name of it, like the food we have on a stick and you just eat it all at once, like that. It is some messed up death in this anime. Like if you not used to horror and not used to seeing like body parts and like just pieces getting demolished, this one's not gonna be for you. It's gonna be hard to sit through. There's certain episodes where you're like, that's a little unnecessary. Like Saya would cut a monster, like cut it straight down the middle, and you just, and you're just like, I don't think I need that. I don't think I need like this, the gushing blood all over the place. But that's what this anime is about, and you guys a heads up. It is a very fun anime. I was having a good time watching it, besides the horror scenes that was a little over the top. But other than that, I had a good time watching. The music in this anime is really good. The soundtrack, the music score for when Saya's fighting and gets serious is really good. The just daily soundtrack of her going through her life is really good. Now I like the fact that like Saya as a character herself has her own personality. She's her own person. She didn't seem like a stereotypical anime protagonist. We saw the little love plot there, but she's kind of clueless because she doesn't really understand love, and there's more to why she's kind of like, what the heck is love? And being like nonchalant to everything. But she sings while she goes to work or goes to school. She's singing songs. She's has her own thing going on. She has her own, like the reason why she likes to work every day or like to school every day, because she stops to help some kind of animal or some person while she's on her way to work, or keep saying work while on her way to school. Her classmates are your stereotypical classmates, but she is not stereotypical by far. And then when she decides to turn off the normal personality she has and come to like this demon slayer, pretty much, no pun intended, a demon slayer with the sword and blade, her mentality and demeanor changes, but when she's done fighting, she's back to kind of like a ditzy, clumsy, just a very impersonable person where you're like, yeah, this is a cool character I can get behind. Like, she's the protagonist where you're like, oh, she's pretty chill, laid back, cool, until she's getting a fight, and you're like, okay, now she's a badass protagonist. Now, I would say, the one thing this show does at first is that it doesn't really tell you what's going on. It gives you nuggets and bits and pieces that keep you like, okay, we learn a little bit more, we learn a little more, learn a little more, and then the finale finally gives you everything. You're like, Could have got that a little earlier, but it's fine. Cause I feel like we're rushing it towards the end here, but we could have got that maybe episode 10 about her background versus waiting till episode 12, the last episode, to be like, and next time on Dragon Ball Z. But they don't, they do that, but it's a good finale. Like, I enjoyed the finale, just wish it could have did a little bit better, and I wasn't expecting it to end the way it did. But with that being said, the way they did the beginning of the show, because there's no background on Saya, like how she became a skilled swordsman. Her dad's like, I trained you for years to kill these elder beasts and you better go out there and do the thing. Like, it didn't really tell you where he got his ability from, how he became who he is. It just dropped you right into it. And if he wasn't patient enough to get past like the first couple episodes of trying to figure out what's going on, or the action didn't get you in, the music didn't get you in, or the opening theme song Spiral, which is really good. I've listened to this theme song at least 4 or 5 times outside of watching the anime. Since doing this anime review, you'll be like, just, how did she get this? How did she get this power? How did she get this power? What are these? What's this? And the show slowly reveals to you, and then the final conclusion at the end where you're like, oh, she's an elder beast / vampire herself, where she eats them and drinks their blood and become more powerful and switches over into like the vampire or the elden beast inside of her, where she flips over and she's more like an assassin with no heart and just gone ahead and kill them off. And the flip where they do the plot twist in episode 10 where they're like, oh, Saya, you're actually a part of a TV show. We're all a reality show here. This is not real. And the guy who you think is your next door neighbor, who is also the shopkeeper, he's actually the one controlling this all, and he's the one who been giving you this drink to keep you like from getting your memory back, because could have found out she was going after him, and he captured her and then decided to put her in for this experiment, which he takes why, but it's like, okay, like I just want to see and study you more, but like I don't understand, like what's the point? And then the show ends where you get the final conclusion of her chasing him down and getting everything, getting her final revenge, because he had her trapped for this whole time and just pretty much been lying to her. And one thing I would say about this is like she's going to school and she slowly realizes things are changing, where like, where's her classmates at? Where did everybody go? Why is everybody like disappearing? Why is the teacher acting like she knows something? Or why is her father don't tell her everything? And when one of the other beasts like, tell them that you ask your father who you are. She's like, I don't know. And she keeps passing out until you finally get the true final reveal. The payoff of the 12 episode show, to me, I love the way how they handled it. I love the way where they got to the end of it and kind of just told you like, yeah, here we go. This is what's going on. And it took 12 episodes to get there, but I was intrigued. I can want to know why she's able to do these things, why she's able to do that. And then the show kept getting snippets. Each episode would drop a little nugget on who she is in a flashback. And there's this little dog who can talk to her. It's like, hey, you made a promise to somebody. Think, Saya, think for yourself here. And she's trying to remember slowly but surely until everything kind of gets dropped on her. Like, oh my gosh. And the show did the whole twist where, like in funny games, where it's like, you want to see the good guys win, right? You want to see the hero win, right? You want to see this where like the characters in this like, yeah, this is not real. This is all a plot, and you're the main character, and we're your side characters. And you're like, did the author just say like, screw it, I was playing around, and this is me, and they're gonna find out no, like actually the whole thing is a facade, but the people there are actually real people who are getting eaten by these actual monsters. Now, the one thing I didn't like was the fact that Saya's like, I'm trying to save people, I'm trying to save everybody, but she never moved fast enough to save everybody. Like, there are scenes where Saya is sitting there watching her friends and some random stranger get murdered by a monster, and she's like, I'm just casually walk over or casually run up to the monster. Like, what are you doing? You want to save somebody, move a lot quicker. And I know why the writers did it, because they wanted to show the horror aspect of the violent kill and the blood splatter and everything, but like, if she's a hero and she wants to protect others, she should, the moment she saw the other beast, was like, no hesitation. But she didn't. She was like, oh, let me see what happens here. See how this person, or they're running. They're trying to jump out the window. Oh, they got caught. If only I move fast enough. Saya, you have lightning speed. Move faster. And I get parts of it where she couldn't control her other side. She couldn't flip to her past self to become like the super elite, demon killer, demon slayer that she's supposed to be. But there's times when she was just moving way too slow. I was just like, Saya, any day now. Saya, move. Saya, what are you doing? Saya, God dang it, Saya, get off your butt. But I enjoyed this anime. I had a good time with it, and I just thought the music, the opening theme song, the animation parts of it was really good. And even though the storyline, if it moved a little slow, but when that final conclusion happened, you're like, oh, okay, I'm excited to see what happens next. And then he's like, this is the last episode. I was like, matter of fact, episode 12, when I got to it, I was like, hold on, is this the last episode? No, that can't be the last episode. I had to go look like there's a season 2. And it's like, no, there's not. There's a movie, but there's no season 2. And I was just like, huh, how did we get here? Why did they not wrap this up? Actually to add to it, because they did the same thing with Akame Got Killed, where it kind of moved pretty quick towards the end. You're like, what's going on here? So watching this, I was like, they're moving pretty quick towards the end. Like, did they not have a part 2? Did they not have season 2 in store? Did it get canceled? Why did we just drop off here where she's running towards the city to chase down the guy who pretty much betrayed her, who been capturing her, studying her? Like, what did they do here? Like, got her blood and everything. Like, what did we do? Like, how, we got a new, like, what happened? What happened? No, this was intentional. There was not supposed to be a season 2. This was intentional to set up a movie. And I'm like, did I go watch the movie? Did I not go watch the movie? Decision. But yeah, that's probably the nag I have about this. They did move a little slow at certain times, but that because the reveal at the end was supposed to be like, all right, this is why we're doing it, and then it just like wraps up on this giant cliffhanger, and then you're just wondering like, did she ever get her revenge? I guess I gotta watch the movie to find out. All right, let's go and talk about the cast, directors, and everybody who worked on this. So the studio that worked on it is Production IG. The manga artist group was Clamp, who worked on this. This came out in 2011. The writer is written by Nanase Okawa, and the director was Tsutomu Mizushima. The characters, you have Saya. Saya, like I said, I enjoy Saya. I thought she was a cool protagonist to have. The one thing I would have taken out of her storyline was a romance piece of it, because she's a strong character. Not having a romance piece of it just kind of, it was so basic, and I'm glad the show didn't lean into the romance picture of it, but they tried because they're trying to pretend to be like a normal high school, so they're trying to make it look as real as possible. So you had the nerdy guy who wanted the girl, I didn't say nerdy, just the mild-mannered guy who wanted the girl but couldn't find a way to express his love and express his interest. He kept trying to do it, but she kept shooting him down at every corner, and dude was like, well, it's fine, my heart's still intact. Kind of not. And then you have the suave guy who's like, my life is so terrible. I am not the same. I'm not like you. The character who's like the bad guy, the bad boy character who, Saya, I'm doing this for you. I love you. I have feelings. You got that trope in this anime because they're playing a role and the characters knows that. So that's there, and you kind of fall for that a bit, but when the reveal happens, you're like, oh, they're just doing this to get their own financial gain or get their own personal gain at the end of this. They don't care about Saya at all. But Saya as a character herself, I love the action. I love the fact she's a strong character who can like take down monsters and demons and doesn't give up. Like, she is the protagonist. Without the romance part, she'd be that protagonist. Like, I wish we had a female protagonist that didn't always have a romance character. They always have if the whole high school stuff was out and she was just a badass kicking butt and just taking names, Saya would have been that character who's also kind of like mild-mannered, kind of goofy, who just lives her life and do the things she wants. And I like that she had her own personality that wasn't similar to any other character I've seen. Like, she likes to sing a lot, and I thought it was interesting because most characters, you don't get to see them singing when they're doing things and we're moving around, just walking. And I thought that was a cool piece to her character, where she likes coffee, she likes drinking and eating food, but she's not like consuming like Goku or Luffy. Like, she's like, yeah, I just like to go sit down at a coffee shop and drink coffee. Like, that's different versus a character like, I just need meat, food. Like, because it's always the protagonist is always a hungry eater, but they always eat like just ridiculous amount. Naruto just slurping up bowls of ramen, and you're like, Naruto, calm down. Versus Saya was like, yeah, I like food, I like eating, and here's my little lunch, and here's some coffee, just drinking. Down the coffee ended up being a very bad thing for her, but I like the fact that she liked that. Nanahara, who is the shopkeeper who ended up being the main bad guy at the end. And at first you're like, oh, he's like a character who looks out for Saya, and you thought maybe there's some romantic interest there. Like, I was like, is this one of those weird plot storylines I don't like, where like Saya's, I think she's supposed to be like 16, 18, sophomore, and like, is this dude like, and apparently the guy was like, he was super old, but he looked young. So I was like, is this dude supposed to be like, I don't like this. I don't like where it's going with this. I'm glad they didn't do that trope. But the forbidden love trope, I'm glad they didn't do that, because that's trash. I hate that trope. But you're like, okay, who is this guy? Because why is he around? Why is he not getting attacked? And why does he seem to know so much and react a certain way? Like, who is this guy? Why is he in her house getting her this food? And could have found out he's a bad guy. He was one studying her. Tokizan, I don't know, should they call him Tokizan or they call him Shinichiro? I'm not sure which one they call him, but he's the bad boy. Like, he's the trope of the bad boy trope. Nothing really different about him. Just, he's the bad guy who has a crush on the main character that the main character somehow has an interest in. That's what he was there for. Nene and Nono, or Nene and Nono, sorry. Nene and Nono, they were probably like Saya's best friends, the twins who act like everything's scary and end up being criminals. But they were very interesting plot, and they actually made the show interesting. They always like talking to Saya. I was like, what's Saya? Like, there's her best friends, and they have like very interesting depths in this show. But it was fine. Then you have Susutori, the teacher, Miss Susutori. I was like, why is she dressed a certain way? Why is she dressed like that as a teacher? I was like, why is she dressed a little like chest all out? Short skirt. I was like, she's a little bit off to be a teacher for this kind of anime. I was like, she seems, and she wasn't a teacher. She was actually a writer and doing research and a journalist. And I was like, okay, this makes more sense why she's dressed like that versus like she's in a room full of middle school, or not middle school, but like sophomore high school students dressed like that. And I was like, what are you putting this on for? And maybe, dress sexy all you want, but I was like, school teachers can't dress like that. So what's the school protocol? When everybody else is dressed different, like it'd be different, like a lot of girls in there, or like guys wearing like cut off sleeves or like that, or tank tops. Fine, that would have made sense. But she was not dressed like the rest of the students, and I was like, that seems off. Okay, but she was trying to win the game as well and get her prize, and she was pretty much trying to get Saya to realize, like, hey, this is a trap, this is facade, this is a farce, like, wake up. And she was trying to do that slowly but surely, and she ended up just saying, screw the plot, I'm going to interrupt everything. Yuka, she is another friend of Saya, and we don't really get much more about her besides she's just a friend at this point. You have Tadayoshi, who is her father, once again, another guy who was the father character. I never felt like he really cared for Saya. He was always around, but then he would just disappear and be like, yeah, so Saya, good job killing the other beasts. All right, get some nap, take a bed, go to bed, get some sleep, you're good. Then you got Itsuki, who is another character who also has a romance piece with Saya. He's also playing a role as well, and he's one of the side characters in the show who kind of gets put down. And like they're all pretty much the side characters all playing a farce and trying to make Saya believe that she's living in a Squirrel Girl reality. And when they realize everything's going on, they tell the truth. You're like, Okay, so what everybody's really here for? You know why the twins are here and why the bad boys here and why the journalist is here. But what are you guys here for? You learn that Yuka wants to be the mayor of Japan, or mayor of some city, not Japan, but or I think not the emperor. What's Japan's head? Prime Minister? Is the Prime Minister in Japan? I think I could be wrong. I'm sorry, guys, but the top of government for Japan. She wanted to be that character. Tadayoshi was made from Saya's blood when the Elden Beast, and he looked like a human, so he wasn't a full human at all. And Saya ended up had to fight him at the end, but it was like he wasn't around enough to care. Like he came and saved Saya a few times. You might have got a little more attached. So when that final battle happened at the end, you were like, ah, my heart. Versus like he's like, I love you like a daughter. Like you never really cared when she came back from that. Like why would you do to protect her if you really cared for her? You would have been like, I'm gonna go help her out. She needs help. I'm watch over her, make sure that nothing goes sideways. You just released Saya out to fight Elden Beast and like your mother. And I was like, what? Doesn't make any like when he said like I love you like my own daughter. I was like that just it felt flat at a certain point. Like I was like, yeah, well, he wasn't really around that much. Just saying. But those are the main cast, and then he also had the dog. The dog, he was kind of like not even a guide dog. He was just there to watch over Saya and just say like, hey, wake up, learn who you really are. So we'll get more about it, I guess, in the movie, but that's the main gist of the characters here. And really, the last 3 episodes where it really takes off and you're like, okay, I'm super invested now. The fight scenes are awesome, but you always knew Saya was going to win. I never felt like Saya was going to lose. Any other thoughts? I'm just going to throw that into my any other thoughts. When it comes to the fight scenes, like Saya wins, and as it slowly progresses, Saya fights more and more tougher bosses, or tougher bad guys, tougher demons. But I also never felt like she was going to lose until, I don't even, in the last fight, I was like, she's going to survive this. I don't know. For some reason, I just knew she was going to survive. I didn't think she was going to like lose or need help. And like the fact that she can cut on the Elder Beast side of her, the demon vampire side of her, when she cut that on, comes super like red blood eyes, and it's like just, I'm going to destroy everything my way. I was like, okay, I never felt like Saya was in danger, but I did like the way the action flowed in the show, and some of the music that went with the battles, and some of these scenes in the show did like keep me intrigued, and the storyline worked for me in this show as well. I was like, okay, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued in this. So yeah, Blood Sea had me. I enjoyed this anime. Now, is this an anime you should watch? If you're into horror and action, yes, give this anime a watch. You're going to find this anime as like a good catch anime. The ending's going to be a little off for you. Like, what the heck was that? But as far as the main gist of the anime, you'll be into this. Also, another point here, I like that they didn't really throw in fan service. Like, that was... Like, there's fan service there, but it's not like a blatant over the top. There's not a freaking hot tub or beach scene where you're like, we're all going to the beach. Everybody in the bras and panties, or I guess bikini, bras and panties. Everybody in the bikinis and shorts, and guys taking it like it wasn't anything like raunchy of this anime. When this anime could be. The way some of the kills are and the way this anime is rated, like it could be one of those animes that just got out of hand. Where like, let's go get their big chested lady and let's put her in a bikini and just have herself on the side for no reason. Like I like that the anime didn't do that. I like that like it felt like a regular protagonist story and Saya just going through her daily life. Like she needed to take a shower, so to get the blood off of her, so she took a shower in a bath. But like you didn't really see much. It was just like her chilling there, and then the dog shows up and was like, hey, we have to talk. Like I just liked how there wasn't an exploitation of Saya. It was just her going through her daily life. And it is like rated MA because the deaths in here are horrible. So therefore you didn't have to be like, it had to be anything sexual for her to, or fan service for her to take a shower. It's like, because there's animes where like the main character taking a shower. Oh, here we go. Like, no, it was just her taking a shower, her taking a bath, her getting up in a robe and walking outside. Like, it was just, it was like if the guy character did the same exact thing, just took a shower, got a bath, put a robe on. Like it felt like just an everyday character, and I like that. That was cool for me to watch an anime where the female character was not oogled in every single scene. And the writers and drawers and artists was like, we're gonna make this sideshow. We're gonna make this sideshow. Like we said, there's characters where people like are doing that, and they didn't do it for Saya. And I appreciate that. Grading time. I'm gonna grade Blood C from 2011. I'm gonna give this anime a C plus, a 79%. I think what keeps it from giving this a B minus is because the ending really got me, and it moves a little slow at the beginning, but I was intrigued with the story. I thought the animation was solid. Thought the kill was a little overkill, but the animation was solid. The horror aspect was good. I just thought it was a solid anime. I thought it was good. I had fun with this anime. I'm giving this one C plus. Now, what does everybody else give it? Sorry, yeah, C plus, 79%. Let's see here. IMDb gives the anime a 6.2 out of 10. That's a D plus, and a D minus, I should say, in my opinion. My anime list gives it a 6.5 out of 10, and then a analyst gives it 61%. So they're all like in the D range if you're looking at it that way. Versus I give it a C plus. I give this a 79%. So that's my thoughts. If you've seen Blood Sea, what do you think? Please put in the comment section below on that. See you guys next episode of Movie Breakdowns, and keep being awesome. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate that. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. If there's a review you want me to watch or do, let me know. Please put it in the comment section below this video. Also, you want to watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns, it's right there. Just gotta click on it and you'll be able to watch it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Love y'all, and keep being awesome.